Hello everyone, to Research 101, another class. Today we'll be talking about literature review. A recap to the lecture I had last time. Some of us were able to submit the assignment we did the last time, which was reviewed, and I gave back the feedback. Today, after the class today, you can go to the Google Classroom and get more information and updates to further assignments and updates. This, as we spoke the last class, a list of expectations, list of our expectations to educate ourselves and be able to independently do research works as individuals and be able to collaborate with other people to be able to conduct a research paper, to get a research paper published. Those are goals in doing this class. The course outline. Basically, today we'll be talking about the structuring paperwork, the proposal, how to go about the proposal, how to go about the literature reviews and everything. Probably next class we'll talk about the plagiarism and ethics. Today's topics content basically focus on introduction, objectives, academic models, data collections, protocols for these selections, data extractions, quality and validations, and how to write a report, the structure behind writing a report, and then the summary. What's the literature? Literature is basically the collection of various data from data banks, from sites, from journals, from publications, basically, in order to come to a conclusion of what we are trying to discuss. So basically, you collect the data, you analyze that data. If you are doing a literature-based peer review research paper, whereby you need a lot of research papers to review, you analyze them to see if the different opinions come to a conclusive result and answer to your hypothesis or your question. If it's an experimental based research paper, that's when you have to do an experiment to come to a conclusive answer. And the purpose of literature reviews in experimental based research work is to give a baseline, a fundamental understanding of what you are going to do in an experimental or in a lab. A summarized form of ways of mining our papers is basically what's the title of your paper, what's the hypothesis, because you can't get the title without a hypothesis. Hypothesis is a question that leads to title the research paper. Now, once you know that, which most of us have done, once you go to the Google Classroom, you can get more information on how to become part of one of the titles of the research paper and hypotheses that has already been reviewed on the classroom. And then from there, you get your papers. Your papers either broken down to population papers or document method papers. That papers are then analyzed. There are various form of analysis of analyzing data. Um, Either using SPSS when it comes to figures, that's referring to experimental research work, literature-based research work, basically looking at opinions to be able to come to a middle ground in your discussions and conclusions. Objectives are the objective we aim in getting from this class is basically how to conduct a literature review paper. How do you go about in getting there? What are the methodology or approach in sorting out research papers? How to validate research papers? What are the specific advice for each step to help everyone to achieve that level of being able to know what and where to search for research papers? There are two categories of academic models. You have the quantitative and qualitative. Now, quantitative is basically the modeling, the empirical, and the experimental. This is basically what's the model of your research work? Um, what's the structure behind your research work? Is it an experimental research work? What type of experimental research work are you embarking on? Are you doing? What qualitative basically talks about? Is it a systemic review, literature review, peer reviews, and so forth? Um, how do you analyze the content of your research work? Is it an observation analysis? Is it an in-depth interview? Are you interviewing people? Is it focus group? What type of group? Is it gender-based, female or male? Is it race-based? Is it um, field-based? Um, how usable is the data at the end of the day? Is the data usable in the sense that once another researcher tries to use a methodology, is it capable of recreating the same scenario once your methodology is being used? Is it a case study? So those are the things under qualitative, and we'll be diving a bit more to explain the qualitative models and how it helps in literature review, mining. Qualitative research methods, data collections, there are two types we can look or we end up facing during the process of being a researcher. When it comes to population, are we doing a survey or polls to get people's opinion or people's answer towards a certain question, which is the title of our research work, in order to answer the issue, the concerning issue, which led us to the research. Are we interviewing people to hear them? Now, the difference in the survey polls and interviews, the survey polls is basically people sitting and answering questions, while interviews, you basically listen to people and documenting what they say. Are we picking a focus group? As I said previously, the race, the gender, and so on. Are we going through the observational method whereby we see how people react to things, or see how the subject, when I'm in the subject, when you're doing an experiment, with same each subject, are you using that? How do they react? If we're doing a psychological experiment and we're using a medication or a drug, what's their reaction? Does their habit change over time? That falls under observation. Why the documentation aspect is, are we just going online to just sort out the papers, searching for literature reviews, published papers, case studies, retrospective studies, in order to get people's various opinion and use those opinions to justify or create an evidence-based factual discussion for our research papers. Characteristics of a literature review. There are various characteristics that can be used to define ways of sorting out literature papers or ways of analyzing literature papers. One of those characteristics is the published studies. Is the paper published studies or it's not a published studies? What what's your reference? What are you using as your evidence base to justify your discussion in your paper? Um, does it answer specific questions? Is the paper beating around the bush? At the end of the day, not targeting or talking about what your title specifically is aiming at? Does it define one of the characteristics is being able to define a search strategy for your articles? What are your criteria to setting for the short papers? Are you looking at the timeline? Are your research papers up to be between 2015 and 2020, which is most preferable in the literature world? Is your literature paper outdated or the most recent papers? Is your literature papers published, as you said? So things like that. What location is your paper? Is it specific to Chicago, Illinois, in the States, or is it specific to the US? Is it specific to China or the Asian countries? Is it specific to the African continent? Is it specific to the South American or the Caribbean continent? So you have to define certain things which falls on that protocol. One thing about lecture papers is if you are doing an experimental base, you don't need so much literature to as an evidence is when doing experiments. Basically, what you need literature review papers for is to give you foundation, a fundamental, a base, a fundamental understanding to the experiments you're about to embark on. So you don't need so many papers, so to say. You just need those specific, strong, and reliable evidence-based research papers to justify your experiment and conclusion or your discussion, so to say. Therefore, a literature review-based papers, you need as many as hundreds and above literatures, published papers, depending on which one is published or not, to be able to act as an evidence base to justify your work. Now, the protocol, basically, doing the protocol, you need to define why you're doing the research work. What's your reason for doing the research work? You need to set protocol is more of a guideline to your research work. It helps you to look at the end goal and retrospectively work from the beginning because it saves time. Because during your protocol, you put forth what's the timeline for your research work. Um, what's the materials you need, how to source for your materials for your research work, what are the keywords for your research, what are the inclusion criteria and the exclusion criteria for your research work. It helps you it guides you and helps you to be on point and directed to your goal at the end of the day. It doesn't decide the end goal, but it gives you guidelines on how to go about your research work. Once you come up with your protocol is one important thing. And doing protocol or with your protocol, during the process, you're able to come with your proposal. So proposal, your protocol to an extent, quote unquote, falls into your proposal because your proposal will determine, I've said in the last class, if there's enough facility to be able to embark in the research work or people who are into the field, who are more knowledgeable in the field to be able to help you with your research work. Now, how to select studies? There are different criteria in screening. First of all, does the journal you are getting talks about does it talk about your title? When you read through the abstract, which is a summary of every research work, does it summarize? Does it based on the summary? Does it incline to what you are looking for? And that helps you to determine whether to select the paper or not to use it in the first place instead of wasting your time using such resources and end up not adding to your paper as a whole, your literature review as a whole, or end up talking about your topic as a whole. Type of publication, is it a recognized journal? Is it a recognized publication? Is it in PubMed? Things like that should also be looked at because these are you need evidence-based papers to be able to defend your what you're trying to discuss or what you're trying to bring forth or what the issue is. Is it a case study, retrospective studies? Is it a well-cited paper? Is it an experimental research work or basically a research literature review paper work which uses other reviews or literature reviews and peer reviews paperwork instead of using experimental work? So those are the things that you can use as a criteria in selecting, including or excluding your research papers. Now, data extraction. When you're extracting data, um, the references are the references well cited. If you are using that as a criteria, are they um, outdated research papers? Are the study parameters focused on what you're trying to achieve? Is it focused research paper? When I mean focus here, is it channeled towards your topic? You're talking about women reproductive system or cancer. You're talking about that, or you're talking about um, the at that. The gaps. Now the gaps are these things that can be overlooked when they are talking when the people are talking about your 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 title or what you're trying to achieve or gain. What are the findings? Now the findings helps you because the main purpose of extracting literature papers is basically the findings. Because the findings, especially if you're not doing an experimental research, you're doing basically a literature peer research work. The findings is the opinion. It's what you need to be able to pull up different opinions of literatures in order to come to a discussion and a conclusion. Quality and validity. Um, we have internal and external validity. Now, the internal validity is the part that deals with us as individual researchers. How realistic are we to our topic? Is it credible? Is it confirmable? What's the confirmability? Are we being biased in the topic? Are we getting materials to be able to say a yes and an okay to our research work? This is the point where I need an external person to look at our research papers and validate if we're being biased or not. If we're basically channeling all the literature, all the materials to be able to defend our point rather than being diplomatic and trying to get superior materials to be able to weigh the balance on whether our topic is being truthful or being falseful um, towards a situation or a problem. External validity is how recreatable is the research work, how transferable, how if someone was to take the method of a research work and someone recreate it and get similar or something close to similar results, those are the things that we need to look at when getting our literatures or trying to embark on mining papers for our literature reviews. After everything being said and done, knowing how to mine your data, data, knowing where to sort out for your literatures, knowing the ethics and the protocols you can do to help you get a well evidence-based research papers. How do you put this together? And that comes down to the report structure. Your report structure, now the title which we talked about last class, we worked on that for most of us. And if you go to the Google Classroom, you'll get more updates on that and more information on that. Um, Structured abstract. Now, structured abstract is summary of your research paper. It's something you do towards the end once you're done with your research paper. Now, the structured abstract is your background, your objective, your method, your result, and conclusion in a summarized form, not up to page, probably one quarter of a page. Basically, something someone can read within seconds and have an understanding of what the paper is all about. Um, in case you have any question, you can ask or send that through the various platform. Then I'll be able to answer that for them for you or clarify it for you. Then the main text. Now, your background, your introduction, is basically what people read through and how okay, this what this paper is going into. Review questions, basically your hypothesis that led to the research work in the first place. Review methods, what are the methods you use? Identification of studies, how did you identify your research papers? How did you go about in getting your research papers? Or when it comes to experimental research work, how do you go about in extracting your chemicals from probably your fruits or what medication you use? How did you extract the medication? How did you administer these medications to your patients or the object or the subject of the research work? How did you go about in getting your data, in interviewing people? What method did you use in observing people? Now, these are the things that you need to write in the sense that if someone picks the same method you use, can it be recreatable in order to get the same result at the end of the day? Um, then results of the reviews. Now, if you are doing just a peer review paper, basically how you analyze your results is basically using people's opinion more in in a constructive argument way, so to say, in order to analyze your result. It's an experimental based research work. That's when you need your SPSS, your data analyzing software to be able to put in the figures together and get and, and determine whether it's significant or not significant. Now your discussion is based on your results. Now, your result talks about arguments when it comes to opinions of people, when it comes to research-based papers, whereas your discussion is based on when it comes to experiment based on figures to determine on how significant or how does your result from your lecture reviews or your experiment justify the topic or the title of the research work. Then conclusion is basically three sentence, probably three lines on what's your recommendation based on your discussion, what's the implication for further research, or how can that your discussion or the whole paper outcome be used in policy making or in health practices, or what are the things that can be done in the future to help with the issue or the question being asked through the hypothesis in the research work. Basically, in summary, what we talked about in this topic is how to sort papers, literatures, method and protocols that can be used to help one to get a well evidence-based research papers, how to include or exclude research papers, how to structure your research papers at the end of the day. Um, Now, from the research structure, you can come with your proposal. So the structure abstract is a is a way of coming up with your proposal. Now, to an extent, your abstract can be your proposal, your submitted proposal for approval. You can put that in your work, in your main paperwork on the long run. So one of the first thing is using your if you can use your abstract, understand the way the abstract is being structured, you can use that to get your proposal. Proposal is just basically something to show people what are the methods or what are your end expected end outcome from your research work before embarking in the main paperwork, in the main research work or paperwork. So the assignment for today's class basically collecting short papers and reviewing them, being able to draft something using the structure of writing a paper. If you go to the Google Classroom, you'll be able to see more of the instructions. So that will be that for today's class. Thanks for everyone who came today. We really appreciate your time. The next class will be Thursday next week, and you can go to the Google Classroom for more updates or information. In case you have any questions, you can send it on the class on the WhatsApp group to the email or to the Google Classroom. Thanks once more. Have a great day.